Everyone, welcome to lesson 3 of Digital Artists. Today we're going to talk about layers and shortcuts. So let's begin. So this is today's HBL schedule. We're going to learn about layers and shortcuts in this video that you might find useful for your designing later. And then on your own, you're going to go to Gravit, continue creating your favorite character. Once done, save work, come back to the IT HBL eCampus page and complete the lesson quiz below. Okay? So with that, that will be the end of today's IT HBL lesson. So for learning objectives today, we will all understand how we can use layers and shortcuts when you design, and you're going to use them to continue creating your favorite character. Okay? So what are layers? Layers are basically parts of a digital artwork. It might be split according to every single shape you use, or it could be a group of shapes. Okay? Now, they are often stacked on top of one another, so that's how you can also rearrange the layers to rearrange the parts of your drawing. Okay, and also with layers, artists can simply change one part of their drawing without affecting another. So that's a good thing about them. Now, in Gravit, how can you find your layers is basically to click onto the layers box. All right? So basically, when you click onto the layers box beside libraries over on the left, you will see that each shape appears as a different layer. The top layer, when you click on it, is your top shape. The bottom layer is your bottom shape. If you want to rearrange them, simply click and drag them above and below one another. And make sure you see the little pink line before you let go. Okay, simple, very easy. We're going to learn how to use this together with keyboard shortcuts that we'll also learn in the next part. Okay, so to make your designing a lot easier, it'll be great if you can use keyboard shortcuts. So the first thing we're going to learn is grouping shapes. So if you have a lot of shapes that you want to group together as one part, you can simply drag over them and do a shortcut. Control G. Okay? If you're using an Apple computer, the controls might be a bit different. It might not be control. You might have to use the command key or maybe other combination of keys. I will explain more in the activity instructions that you download later on. Okay, you can also copy and paste your shapes using a different set of shortcuts. Simply drag over the shapes that you want to copy and paste. Do a copy, Control C, and then do a paste, Control V. All right? Of course, for Apple computers, the combination is a bit different. So later, follow my activity instructions to be able to achieve it. Okay? Now, for today's activity, we're going to continue designing our favorite character. So last week you did the face. Today you're just going to add on with a body. Okay? So this is one example of how your character should look like. It should have a head, it should have a body, and some obvious body parts or limbs. Okay? So if you want, you can also design a background for your character to make it look really interesting. After all, this is your artwork. Okay? So have fun with it. More examples for you. These examples will also be provided in the activity instructions below. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you how you can use layers and shortcuts in your work. So what I have here is actually my half-completed character, Baymax. Okay, from last week, all of you would have created the face or the head of your character. So what we're going to do is we're going to group the head of the character first before we move on to the body parts. So I'm going to show you this using layers. So if you go to layers, okay, you notice that if your face is quite complicated with a lot of shapes, you will have a lot of shape layers. Okay, so let's make it easier. We're going to group some of them together. So all you need to do this is to drag over your face shapes. Okay, so you see that once done, I will have selected all the shape layers corresponding to my face. Then just simply group it. Okay, remember the shortcut is Control G. Or if you're using a Mac computer, Apple's computer, Command G, okay? Or you can also use this button here, Group. Okay, so what happens is if you stare at your layers, you will see that it has become one entire layer group. You can still arrow down into the group and you can still pick out your shapes from here. Okay, if not, you can just hide it within the group itself. Okay, then just simply rename the group as head. Alright, So everyone, that's the head. Okay, I'm going to move on to the other parts of my character. So I've also designed my body already. So not to confuse myself, I'm going to group the body parts together. Okay, so this is made out of 2 circles. Drag over the shapes. Control G or group. Okay, remember Apple computers, the control is different. Double click the new grouped layer. Okay, and then call it body. Alright, so with this, it's a lot easier for you to shift an entire part of your drawing and arrange it nicely. Okay, now I've also created the arm. This is an oval. Okay, this is a circle for the palm. And the fingers, these are made out of 2 rounded rectangles. So in case you forgot how to do this, let me show you a quick demo. So back to libraries, I basically put out a square. Okay, stretched it to a rectangle. Okay, and how I got this shape is to actually round the corners at the side. You see that? Okay, so that's how I got the fingers. Alright, so I'm going to remove this. Okay, back to layers. Okay, so I'm done with one arm of my character. I'm going to group that. Select all the shapes, drag over them. Okay, make sure you have selected all your shape layers and group them. Control G, Command G, or click the group function. Okay, then rename this. Okay, then after that you can shift it to place. Alright, we're just going to focus on one arm first. We're going to do one part of the body. Okay, I've also done the legs. So this is an oval and this is a square that's rounded. Okay, I'm going to select all, group, Control G, or you can click this. Okay, and then rename leg. Okay, so everyone, this is how you use layers when it comes to grouping parts of your drawing. Okay, now we're going to copy and paste the arm and the leg so that we can create another set of arm and leg, and that will make it a lot easier for you to complete the drawing. So to do this, I'm going to first select my arm group. Okay, I am going to do a copy. So for that, it's Control C and a paste, Control V. Remember, if you're using an Apple computer, it's Command C and Command V. Okay, so to show you, Control C, Control V. Now what happens when I copy it is, if you notice your layer group, you would have created another arm group. Okay, it's on top of the original arm group. Okay, so to differentiate, you can rename it. Let's call this the left arm, and the previous one that we did, the right arm. Oops. Okay, so once done, I'm going to click on my left arm. I'm going to do a mirror flip, and I'm going to shift it to the other side. So I'm going to click the triangle tool here, flip horizontal, and then I'm going to just use my arrow keys or my mouse to nicely shift the arm to the other side. There you go. So same thing for the leg. Click your leg group, Control C, copy and paste, Control V. Okay, make sure you see the copied layer come out. Rename it. Okay, once done, you can just click on top the shape. Okay, make sure you're selecting your copied shape. Do a mirror, flip, and then you just drag it out and put it on the other side. Alright, so everyone, once done with your work, please remember to save it. Okay, I'm going to run through the steps very quickly. Click on File, click on Save to Cloud. Okay, rename your work at the number 3 there. Click Save, and then you have to wait for the loading and the saving to finish before you close the window. Okay, so please wait until you see this synchronizing word disappear from the top right corner of your screen. Okay, once done, it will have saved nicely. So everyone, just to run through the activity instructions today, please download the activity instructions below. Follow it to finish your character on Gravit. Once done, save your work. Make sure you wait for the loading to finish before you close. Okay, I will go into Gravit to check your work at 7 p.m. today. Okay, so once you're done with saving work, you can come back to this IT HBL page and complete the lesson quiz. Alright? So everyone have fun and enjoy the process. If you do need help, just click the Zoom link below and talk to me. Okay? See ya.